Greetings from Caption Media once more. This review is going to be about the newly released movie Fast X. Our review won't disclose any major spoilers. Fast X is actually just the beginning of the grand finish, and it's unclear how many sequels might emerge after its May the 19th release. We do know that Fast X has 2 back-to-back cliffhangers teaser scenes at the end. Before our review, let's first take a look at the box office statistics. Fast X is making $320 million worldwide, while debuting in the United States with $67.3 million. The 10th entry in the well-known franchise is also generating enormous revenue abroad, where it's expected to make at least $252 million in its opening weekend. The car key should be put away permanently. This latest Fast and Furious movie has to be the most absurd. The most enjoyable Fast and Furious films aren't too serious. They put up a show where they seem like they're taking themselves seriously, but we can tell they're just playing a joke because we all get it. For 2 hours and 10 minutes, Diesel makes you believe in Dom because he himself believes in the character so fervently. This high-octane spectacle tries and occasionally succeeds in obliterating any opposition with its seemingly endless supply of furiously funny action and disarming, audacious and self-aware doses of usually hilarious camp. It is employing the age-old tactic of leveraging flamboyance to denote wickedness, in contrast to Dom Toretto's seething paternalism and his unwavering commitment to protecting his family at all costs. The moral imperative is unmistakable. This film is the ideal Saturday morning companion to a bowl of Fruit Loops. It's an overcrowded live-action movie with clumsy plot and carefree low-stakes violence. Yet Fast X is the most absurd entry in the long-running franchise, and that's saying something considering the crew journeyed into outer space in the previous instalment. Transporter director Louis Leterrier puts his pedal to the metal, keeping things moving so quickly. Bodies and vehicles are perpetually in motion, driving, fighting, exploding or dying, and that means that there's little time to worry about how far-fetched it is. Fast X is an idea without direction. It's fun in the moment, but the lack of closure on any arc and the mishandling of other story arcs serve as a reminder that the franchise was always held together by duct tape. There is a frantic familiarity to Fast X throughout, despite the fact that it is spinning through amusingly silly action set pieces, most of them significantly enhanced by an hilarious performance by Jason Momoa. With his bald dome polished to an ageless gloss and his life coach maxims delivered in a gruff near whisper, Diesel no longer seems quite human enough to be vulnerable. Nevertheless, there are instances in which he clearly demonstrates he's still a fine actor. In Chapter 10, only a few hints of the previous character's whiplash enchantment can be seen as thrills give way to thudding formula and paycheck acting, which slow down the action and help shape the Fast and Furious litter's lone outcast. Fast X maintains the high standards set by the Fast and Furious flicks, while giving the stale ride a new coat of Jason Momoa having a blast. The globe-trotting plot, connecting the set pieces even by series standards, feels uninspired and unsophisticated as it builds to the inevitable high-stakes conclusion battle. This film is obviously absurd, but no one watches it for a well-developed plot. The dialogue is laced with self-conscious jabs by the screenwriters because they are aware of it. The absence of any sequences that surpass previous ones marks a first for the franchise. Fast and Furious is more than just an action show. After years of deftly balancing on a precarious tightrope, Fast X brings the franchise considerably closer to repulsive self-parody. Jason Momoa enjoys a clumsy, disorganised, packed and inflated storyline. The best part of the movie is anticipating his next crazy wardrobe. Otherwise, it's merely a ridiculously costly exercise in wheel spinning. I hope the second instalment amps up the fun completely. These films used to understand what about them was absurd. When they gave us that, our hearts would beat faster than the speed limit. But I've witnessed Diesel driving at a 90-degree angle before. The previous boldness currently smells like a formula. It would be naive to believe that the behaviour of real-life drivers who have grown up seeing films like this has no bearing on what this movie indicates about what cars and human beings are capable of and can withstand. Fast X could get away with being only noisy and dumb, that much is to be expected. But is also brutally mechanical, which is an issue as well. No driver, just a car. The gas pedal is always firmly depressed in the Fast and Furious movies, even when they seem to be bogged down. The rookie director, Louis Leterrier, who has a history of working on big-budget comedies, manages to extract enough silly energy from a few of his past blockbusters to give the plodding series some new life. It represents the logical conclusion of a series that started off lean and nimble and gradually became fat from its own lovable ambition and has finally succumbed to that bloat. The quips and stunts that feel like they were cobbled together from earlier, better films have taken the place of the sweet, earthy authenticity that once made these flicks sing. There is no denying the silliness of this genre, but having one character constantly make fun of the others and everything else seems a little too obvious. The tone is once again pro-wrestling related. In a creative sense, the engines are spluttering and the fuel gauge is pointing to empty. Is an exciting car chase in a film sufficient? Not for this watcher. The studio will differ from the fans who push the limits. Despite feeling like you're getting a headache when viewing it, it's a good diversion. A Fast and Furious movie that simultaneously outdoes the franchise's previous entries and pays a deeply sentimental, widely eccentric homage to the original series. With possibly 2 more chapters left, this sequel is overstuffed and unimpressive. If you want to catch up on more unbiased, non-spoiler movie reviews, keep checking the Caption Media channel. I'm heading off now. See you in a bit. Have a good one.